To start off, technology is something, as we discussed earlier also, is changing our lives, our businesses, the way we live and way we, also livelihood. In terms of, interestingly, if I could start with Debashish, you're in a business where cyber security is coming on everybody's mind now as we use technology more and more. Give us a sense of how should we sort of look at cyber security. The approach is mostly defensive, to be very honest. Like something might happen, it's like an insurance. It's an insurance mindset. But do you think it could be a competitive edge also, where you look at cybersecurity, the way you adopt cybersecurity, the way you use cybersecurity? What's your assessment of it?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. This is a great pleasure having speaking in front of all of you. We all know that cybersecurity is one of the hot topics, right? And when we talk about digital India or the growth of our country, I think the digital is like the fourth pillar. When we talk about roads, the water, electricity, and then digital. When we talk about digital, I think cybersecurity is part of that, because whatever we do, either we create infrastructure in digital, like we are using UPI, we are talking about ONDC, we are talking about our Aadhaar, right? These are all digitization. So when we talk about digital, second thing which normally comes with the digitization is trust. How can we create trust? If, let's say, we are using UPI and there is a data leak, no one will use UPI. There is our role comes in, right? How we protect those infrastructure which we are creating or any country is creating, and creating a trust to the user. And when we talk about cybersecurity, again, it's always a fight between a good and bad. We are trying to create a technology. Every day we are fighting. So we feel that, okay, we are, of course, there is the defense system is working in the border. Our team is also working 24/7, 365 days in the line of fire. Because we have a team which we are fighting invisible people. That's one of the challenging thing, right? And that's an ongoing. So how we are adopting new technology, how we are creating new technology, like everyone is talking about AI. So AI is good. AI is definitely devastating. So we are seeing that, okay, AI is creating a lot of challenge for us. And same time, we are also using AI. We are using AI in investigating threats. And that is the way, because that is the only way the number of attack is happening. Humanly, it is impossible. Every second, we are receiving thousands of attacks. So we are using AI, right? So it's an interesting topic. I can go on and on, probably, then they cannot speak. So I think, yeah, it's very, very interesting things which we are doing. And of course, during the discussion, I can keep adding more whatever you want to ask from my side.
Absolutely. So AI is playing, it's like double-edged sword in a sense.
Absolutely.
It's an attack and a defense mechanism both.
Yes. So what is happening is, for example, we are, as you said, defense, right? So we are using AI for defense. We are using AI for offense. Because what is happening is today's, of course, we are little deviating the topic. The customers are, everyone, I'm sure all of you are using digital in either way. Your house is now all smart, so you are invariably using digital technology. Unknowingly, a lot of people are doing a lot of things, right? Recently, I think 2-3 days, there is a trend going on, which I see that, okay, if you upload your picture, it will give you a beautiful outcome, right? Like, and you are one of the model.
Yeah.
How serious it is. Probably people are not aware. So comes into the knowledge, right? Which is probably in our job and the government job that, okay, when we are talking about digitization, it comes with all these challenges and how we can actually give the awareness to all our citizens that, okay, how serious it is. right? If AI can give you a beautification, AI can give you deformation. I don't want to use how, but you can understand, all of you understand, right? I think this is very, very dangerous world. We are talking about AI. So when we are talking about defense and offense, of course, what we do is we use artificial intelligence, machine learning, based on our historical data. We understand, okay, what's coming, right? And then we go for even maybe the offensive side. Yeah, it's a complex world. We are using all these algorithms and trying to protect all our customers, our citizens, and especially the new kids, I think, and the kids which they're abusively using new technologies, right? I think this is very, very dangerous world which we are entering.
Absolutely. Mr. Ganeshan, if I can come to you, you come from aluminum industry, and that industry itself is the way especially in the last few, with the change of, I think the focus of Atmanirbhar Bharat, there's been a lot of focus on aluminum now, and also environment aspects have also crept in terms of keeping the environment clean. So as a group, how are you using technology to sort of, of course, bring in the sustainability aspects and also help technology grow your business?
Thanks, Dev. Thank you. You have to bear with me. As a sales and marketing person, I may not answer directly to your question. I always tell stories, okay? You have to bear with me. To answer your question, I have to tell some stories.
Sure.
Because you have covered all the subjects in your question. Because here, about India, thanks to our chairman and founder, SME, here I have to link. Before thanking Outlook, I want to thank all my SME and MSME customers to whom I am serving for more than 10,000 customers for my turnover. So thanks to my customer and thank you to Outlook Business also to open the eyes. The story which I am talking about, the sustainability. In India, around 40 years back, now that we are talking about technology, AI, and cyber security and data center and many things we are discussing. That time, 40 years back, in India, for every people, TV was distributed in the villages. Mm-hmm. So that is the way. So in that village, I also watched the TV, that type of TV. All the village people will come and sit the watch. So from my story, you have to arrive the moral of the story. So today, the same first job, I used the facet typewriter. So today we are talking about this technology. So there also, how that technology arrived with some purpose that has been invented by some MSME. So now the technology of AI and other things invented by the people now. So here also we are facing the challenges. So like you spoken about the variety of speakers. So there also I am giving one story. So I am building the India with aluminum with various industry. For the example, the sustainability why I am telling is, those days when the TVs were supplied, we were supplying the aluminum antennas. Okay. Now the 5G, we are supplying the antennas. Okay. So the sustainable 50 years, though all the way, whatever, for 2G, antenna tower, aluminum profile got supplied. When the 3G invented, now the 5G, the technology has changed. The antenna shape has changed, the requirement has entirely changed. So that is the way the formation of aluminum has happened. Not only for this industry, you take mobile, aluminum is there. If it is laptop, this antenna towers, aluminum is there. The EV vehicles, for example, today we are talking about the without man, the automobile industry we are talking, how to run the vehicle. So in that, all the interior, exterior, outside parts, everywhere the aluminum is there. So this is the way for the sustainability for the 50 years. So whatever the 30 years back, when the industrial revolution happened in India, so for all the industries, it was aluminum was supplied. So this is the way wherever the evaluation is happening. So we are continuously, we are able to change, accustom with the technology, whatever it is happening. So we were able to sustain our business.
So what you're saying is basically use cases. You created new use cases for aluminum, and you went ahead. And not
ahead. According to the requirement of the country, And
Absolutely.
the people, whoever, see, for example, today, every customer asks me, not, we are the creator. For example, I told, no, aluminum I am building. So as a data center, he is safeguarding the material. So it should not be thefted or something, the safety security. The selection of people as a editor, you have selected the people in such a manner to prove that it is correct. The same way, my customers coming with some ideas. Now I have to collaborate with them to ensure that idea is implemented. For that, so for example, if we can say that simple word with aluminum profile, but it is not aluminum profile. It is a 25,000 profiles in our catalog. Each profile will have one or other history of one of the entrepreneur idea. So it has to be brought. It is like a one profile creation is like a baby born.
Absolutely.
So that way we are contributing to the society. So for example, one more story if I want to tell. So now irrigation pipes. 50 years back the irrigation was different. Now the technology, agri-tech is there. Now the farmers through drone. The technology has came. So this is the way each and every industry is having this one. Coming back in your question, one more you spoken about the this one. Happened 10 days back, I happened to had one chai meeting. In that meeting, it is only youngsters with 22 years, 20 years boys going to meet. I thought of, TK, I will also attend this meeting, what these boys are going to happen. This was the ideas of the boys. They arranged for 2 hours network, all boys from 20 years to 25 years. So every person is having one or the college passed out, he is having one or idea he is having, how to implement that. So when they asked the challenges, every boy or the person, girl wanted to give something back to the society. Absolutely. For that they are stuck, because ideas are more. There is one minister also told, idea ka kammi nahi hai, only the who is going to execute. So the people are having idea, now they are struggling how to understand the laws, how to understand the financial situations. So
Absolutely.
the awareness has to be created for those people in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. That way, those people, so lot of youngsters can come up with many startups in India. Definitely what vision, one of the panel we discussed, there is no doubt that definitely India is going to touch 1 hour year before 2045 or 46. We are going to 1 year, it will be less only, not more. So with that, I wanted to...
I think that's very sort of...
So with this, you catch the moral of story. Next question you can.
Absolutely. You know, Sharad, you are in an industry which has become a necessity now. You know, data centers, the way we are using AI and the way the AI use cases are going up, I think your business is on a sunrise business now. So in sort of, you know, what I found was a lot of your sort of locations, you are in major cities, but you're also on the outskirts of cities and a lot of also tier 2, tier 3 cities. Is it by design that you are in tier 2, tier 3 cities?
See, data centers are the base infrastructure for the digital transformation.
Absolutely.
Everything that we do today, every single one of us are using the data centers. If we are going and accessing our net banking account, they are actually going and accessing a server located inside the data centers. Now, so far what was happening was that everything was centralized. Every access of the application that we were doing, every technology that we were trying to access, everything that we were trying to secure, it was all centralized. Every organization, when they were going and then setting up an ERP system, the core banking system, or any kind of an application, it only needed to be at the central location. And anyone can go and access it. So if we are accessing Google, we don't see the data center for Google everywhere.
Absolutely.
It could be anywhere around the world.
Absolutely.
If we are accessing a e-commerce website or e-commerce application to order something, it's actually at the central place. For that purpose, data centers needed to be at a central location. It was okay. But now in the new era, what is happening is that we are accessing data centers or the content from anywhere and everywhere.
Okay.
When we are on the running trains, people are still making reels on the running train.
Yeah.
Correct? People are making reels in Patna, in Lucknow, in maybe Jhumri Talaya, to use that as a word for a fun sake.
Yeah.
Right? Anywhere around the country. People are watching the streaming content anywhere. Be it the Netflix, or be it the Prime, anything in the OTT or even in the live television. People are watching it everywhere. Now, in case if you have to go and watch, when we are people watching it, and you have to go and connect to a data center that is located only in Mumbai, then you are creating that much of a traffic on the network. You are also creating so much of the content which is only centralized. So over the period of time, what people realized is that there are technologies that you can implement. In a way, it is called caching, that you can cache the content locally so that whenever somebody is accessing the content, they don't have to come all the way to the central location in a data center. It can still be accessed from a local data center itself or local location where everything is stored. Now, that drives a use case towards creating lots of data centers, not just in the metropolitan cities, but a lot of smaller data centers, not to the extent of the capacity that is there in the, let's say, the central location.
I think in globally, we are the largest employment in India, around 575 people working across India. Now, coming to the story, what the CFIs is talking about, the distributed data center. What is happening is now people need only a digital device. Either it's a laptop or even phone. Phone is more powerful than even the laptop these days.
Exactly.
They need a connectivity. Everything is virtual, right? And then we are talking about even the security, how I can give security to those employees, those who are working remotely. So they are actually connecting to the nearest areas, or we call point of presence. We need a nearby data center where we can create a point of presence and we secure those pipes. So I think this is a new way of securing, and the entire the infrastructure or the platform is changing. So it's not that the older one, which we used to think maybe 7-10 years back. Now it's an entirely different world which we are moving into.
Very interesting.
That's anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
The driving force behind everything related with digital infrastructure.
So one has to be agile and one has to be distributed.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
you have to available 24/7.
And then you have to be aware that the crooks are smarter than you. And therefore,
It has to be secure.
it has to be secure.
Support your question that you asked about when the data center is created in a particular city. For that, I want to give one more example.
Sure.
The place called Oragadam in Chennai. That is the small village, actually, 30 years back. When first Hyundai was started, so it started developing Sriperumbudur. Then now, there are around 40 villages around that Oragadam. Now all the 40 villages having 40 multinational companies. You take Daimler, you take Renault Nissan, you take Enfield, you take Samsung, Apple, now they are subcontracting to the other way. So other way, so why I'm telling is, I don't know about what are the structure, GE, Vernova, they are there. So whenever one company is coming with one setup in a particular location, so supporting his point of view, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 2, tier 3 we are talking about. When the data center is created in a particular city of tier 2, definitely, which is linked, whatever the manpower is required, whatever the sub-services, definitely that location. And also the dream of data center, as per the articles of many, the future going to be, because almost earlier 30 years back when my company backup of software has to be kept, means I have to find out the location in Singapore or somewhere. Now, India is going to be the hub for the data center when we are becoming the developed country. Definitely, we will be the major player. That should be our wish. That is what.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
In fact, coming to, you mentioned about SMEs earlier, that you wanted to thank the SMEs for the,
Yes, yes.
I want to understand from you, like, given your industry, what role do SMEs play in terms of, in the value chain, in terms of keeping the sustainability aspects in the...
For this, I will tell you a layman example.
Sure.
If you want to eat, so you will be having the chawal and you will be having sambar, rasam and sabji.
Yeah.
So directly you cannot eat the rice. So you need many items along with the taste. So this is you may be having the 80-20 rule. You may be having the top class companies to serve the overheads and the turnover and the profitability. But to run your business or country or as an individual. So for example, as an individual, I'm talking about three things. One is individual, Second one is the company. Third one is the country. As an individual, today if I am sitting as a vice president from the marketing manager to vice president, without SME support today, my small customer, 20 years back, he purchased 300 kilo. Today he is purchasing 300 metric ton. So how he has grown from SME to that level. If you take as an organization, according to his growth, organization is growth. When the SME and this one, 80-20 rule, why I told, 80% of the turnover may be the top class companies, but 20%, which is the 10,000 customers, which is very, very important to run your day-to-day business. For example, when the COVID has happened, it is a beautiful example. Some of the companies, government has given the exemptions to run the factory on those 14 days also. Why? Those are the SMEs who are going to support for the medical industries. Those component has to made and it has to reach the hospitals, then only the oxygen cylinders can reach. So that is the way SME and MSMEs are the backbone of the country. Balance are the parts of the body like that you can take out.
Very beautifully put, I must say.
Thank
you. Know, in terms of policy, can I come to that, in technology, the way technology has proliferated in India, there's a policy push we have seen over the last more than a decade or so. The digital backbone, Aadhaar and everything. And it's all come and join somewhere. And it's a thing we have seen over the last 15, 20 years. If it's a question common to all three of you, I can start with you maybe, what is that one or two recommendations that you would like to make from a policy perspective so that technology is accessible, it's already accessible, but we see more proliferation of technology in tier 2, tier 3 towns and cities. As we discussed earlier, that people now want to work out where they live, where they stay. So if you want to see more proliferation of technology, more use of technology, what sort of policy push or would you recommend?
See, technology usage as such cannot be driven by the policies.
Okay.
It is a need now. Technology is not just a supporting function. It's an enabler. It is being used for creating, for innovation. It is being used for creating the differentiation in any industry. Irrespective of the industry, technology is the core function. The technology budget have changed from X%, almost up to the 20% in the banking and financial sector. A banking and financial sector friend was telling me that next bank failure will not happen because of the credit risk or credit issues. It will happen because of the technology failure. So I would say that policy cannot push for the technology adoption or implementation. The main policy factor should be driving towards making sure that when the infrastructure is created for the technology, the systems are being created or the innovations are happening there. For that, there is enough ease of doing business. Okay. Enough work, policy support being done to ensure that for example, for me to build a data center is easiest in any city. Getting the power is easiest. Getting the land is easiest. Getting the connectivity to that place, the network connectivity is easiest. Hiring people is easiest. Managing and building the talent, developing the talent is easy. So my view is that the policy support should always be towards ease of doing business.
Okay.
Less regulation, more governance.
Interesting.
That's how I would say that's the way the policy focus should be.
I'm tempted to ask you this. When you say data center, and you spoke about the energy consumption that data centers do, the issue of sustainability comes in, and that's something which is used as a stick to beat the industry, in a sense that, the amount of power that you consume, the amount of energy that you consume, So what is the trend you're seeing in, there should be a policy, do you think there should be a policy parameters for green data centers from a policy perspective? Because going forward, as you said, you want data centers.
There is no policy required. Data center industry is very responsible industry.
Okay.
We are already investing heavily,
okay,
not just anything, heavily into renewable energy.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, as of today, I have 120 megawatt of renewable energy being delivered to my just one campus in Mumbai. Mm-hmm. And over the period of time, that renewable energy supply, we will continue to increase. We have already have more than 300 megawatt of power purchase agreement signed, and these are all clean energy, combination of only solar and wind. Moving forward, we are saying that we will also support India's dream of energy transition from thermal to nuclear, and we will support the innovations happening, anything in the small modular reactors also. So we'll do the nuclear energy investments also. So as far as the policy support, as far as the sustainability and accountability to sustainability is concerned, we are very, very cognizant of the fact that it is not because of a push that will come because of which the data center industry will go and adapt sustainability. It is because of the consciousness. It is because of the fact that we are investing, we are consuming a lot of energy, and therefore we'll have to do that. Second is for the chilling, for the cooling purpose. There is a lot of water consumption is required.
Absolutely.
So how we are impacting on the water front, how we are optimizing the usage of water, how are we using the green steel, green concrete, how are we getting together with the suppliers or even the organizations, the supply chain who is building the generators and the chillers, etc. Those equipments, how they are implementing the green practices in their system. So sustainability in the technical terms, the way it has been defined in Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3, we are all taking that very seriously. In fact, all of us, and even I have that target, that by 2030, we will be 100% renewable, and we were making sure that we are at least attempting towards the net zero goals towards 2040 or 2050. It's a bigger goal and a more complex goal to take, but we are taking that.
Interesting.
From my point of view,
Absolutely.
there are 4 points to it. One is the awareness we have to create. Because one is the biggest strength of India is the population.
Absolutely.
So technology is the challenge, other side. So day-to-day basis, every day. One side we are appreciating the technology, at the same time, due to the population, the awareness creation within this population is very, very important. Because when we are moving to Tier 2 and Tier 3, to create many jobs like this, if you take the technology directly, data center. So the awareness, why the awareness is required? The safety. Because when we are working towards the quality work, the safety is important. Automobile industry is different. I cannot treat the transmission industry, transmission distribution. It is a highly critical industry, power industry. Like that data center, why we are selecting the particular place to put the data center, which has to be exist for many years with the safe method. So the awareness with the public and around, and safety, quality, awareness, and training to the people. So who are, because if these 4 focused, then the sustainability will be easy for us for the
So what you
future.
are saying is basically, if people are aware, if people are conscious of this thing, things will follow.
Definitely.
Very interesting.
And for it will be helpful to the future growth. Otherwise, we will be starting something, then we will stack up something. Because safety, whenever, they are thinking in the later stage, when we started something, there is no safety, then again we are taking one step back. So it's not necessary. So when you implement the safety and quality at the first place, so that the growth, nobody can stop.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Debashish, what's your take?
Yeah, so as you said that, okay, what is the policy perspective from digital building? So as I said in the beginning, right, when we are talking about digital building, the infrastructure is one of the key component, and cybersecurity creates a trust. Policy makes a big difference here, because when we are talking about digitization, right, so everything is related to our data. So it's my banking data, my personal data, and if there is no strict guideline or policy decides, right, so anyone can use my data or our data in any way. So that's a very, very important, and that's what our DPDP Act is coming. And we need to implement that very stringently so that we can protect our data. That's one. Second is part of a policy making or policy implementation. In case of a breach disclosure, which is, probably it's not very effective in our country. So this is also important, that you cannot hide that, okay, so why we are not disclosing the breach? The simple reason is we have not created those checks properly, right? So till today, security is taking care like a compliance, that, okay, I have done ABCD, that's it,
Yes.
right? Security is a process, it's a journey. You have to do it like from a defensive mechanism, and then you have to do a lot of other things, including awareness, including training. you need to hire a right skill. So that's another subject which we are facing a trouble, right? We have a big skill set gap. So in totality, I think the policy will help us in implementing very, very strict rule so that you cannot go away that, okay, I have done it. Like, it's not a check mark. So I think this is very, very important and required.
Transparency, for example, the
Yes.
fact that the breach that you mentioned, we are aware of many cases where a whistleblower tells you that, there has been a breach. The
Right.
company does not tell you.
True.
At some point of time, the whistleblower will come and tell you that because whatever reasons, XYZ reasons,
Yes.
they'll tell you, okay, so-and-so company had a breach, and then suddenly the investigating agencies will land upon your doorsteps. Do you think there's an issue of responsibility here? And a corporate responsibility?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a part of, that's what I'm saying. I think the policy has to be strict. So now policy is on us as a vendor, right? Policy has to be on user. All these corporate, because they are using our data. Is it's a banking or insurance or even retail, right? They are using our credit card data. They are using our entire information. If any breach happen, your data will be in the net, right? Everything will be in the dark web. And it's a very, very dangerous world which we are living if we are not putting the check. And that's what here the regulations comes into picture.
Mr. Ganeshan, I'm tempted to ask you this. ESG has been talked about the last few years, especially post-COVID. You have seen ESG coming into the picture in terms of corporates' accountability, the way they are reporting their ESG matrices.
This is regarding security purpose, this one?
No, ESG. I'm talking about your environment, social and development, ESG reporting. The BRSR sort of guidelines that are there. From a group perspective, from a industry perspective, has it changed over the last few years? What's your,
No,
from your
this-
own group perspective, what you
Not
sort of-
changed. There's a formation only that changed. The subject presentation has got changed. Because 25 years back itself, we had EH&S, Environment, Health and Safety.
Yes.
Now the ESG, the little bit of change.
Yeah.
For example, in the corporate world, now we are talking about 5 years. Earlier, it was competitive achieving excellence.
Yes.
So it is the evaluation and the next level of approach. That's all. That every organizations nowadays, according to the size of the organization, SME having certain rules and regulation, MSME is having certain regulation, private limited, partnership company, according to the size of the company. So some companies, if it is a small scale, they can run with the consultants. If it is a turnover of limited company, more than 1,000 crore, they have to have your own department. They have to create the social responsibility and the environment, everything they have to do it on your own. Not only for them, they have for the sustainability. Nowadays, the compulsion from the government, I have to evaluate my suppliers also. So customers also, if I am supplying some customer will take signature from me as a supplier. All the policies are followed in the company in the vendor evaluation. Like that, I have to select the suppliers in such a manner, everything is followed. So it is like in the organization we are talking about that, if the country has to follow all the rules and regulations, these type of checks are required in the organization, so that organization also safe, customer also safe, the suppliers also safe.
Absolutely. And what it means basically is that your supply chain, the vendor, the whole value chain has to now be geared
Wherever
up
the
for
gap, it has to be filled up, yes.
totally has to be geared up for this.
Yeah, that's important because in EHS case,
Exactly.
it's not the responsibility part, it's no accountability. Bankers want you to be following the proper sustainability practices. The customers want you to follow the proper sustainability practices. And then Gen Z also wants you to follow the proper sustainability practice. So it's all accountability from all front.
So there's no escape now from this.
No escape. No escape.
So now onwards, we cannot say
It has
this is
to be
not,
done with your full consciousness.
there is no concept called this is not my job.
Great. On this note, I think we're already time's up, so we could have actually continued this great discussion. But thank you all of you for this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.